If I have a prejudice here, it's that adults mostly can handle their own lives. And we can trust them too. So if some adults have been made to feel worse by things like therapy they don't need or psych meds they don't need or whatnot, I generally think an adult can say, this is helping me or it isn't, and push back and make a change. But a child can't. So the bigger problem, what I wrote my book about, is about why putting a child through a culture of therapy, through a school system that constantly treats them to various forms of what I call bad therapy, therapy that makes your symptoms worse or introduces new symptoms, why this is all so harmful, this constant feelings focus, this constant convincing children that are young adults that they've experienced childhood trauma. There's no question a lot of these kids are sad, and a lot of them are lonely, and a lot of them are anxious. But we are psychopathologizing a whole generation and convincing them that they are unwell, so they are behaving like they are unwell. 40% of the rising generation has been through a therapist, but I think it's much higher because, what I refer to as bad therapy, this kind of iatrogenic therapy that makes your systems worse, right? Iatrogenesis is when a healer makes a problem worse. They're getting it in the schools. They're being treated to social emotional learning and wellness tips and all kinds of emotional regulation tips that are supposed to help, but I think it's making it worse. And I can explain why, but they're also getting it from parents who are treating them based on the best-selling books of neuropsychologists and various therapists. So kids are just absolutely awash in therapy today. Here's the thing to know, that if you have an unhealthy life, if you're out getting drunk, partying every day, but every night, but not making real connections in the world, okay? If you spend all your time online with online porn and online friends, and you're unhappy, if you go and delete that signal, you don't have bad mental health that you're unhappy. That's good mental health. It's a natural signal of the body saying, stop. We have to fix something about this life. You don't want to delete that signal. Now, I'm not talking about major depressive disorder, because there are these things that are organic and chronic and severe and have nothing to do with anything you're doing. And that maybe should be treated with all kinds of things like psychiatric medication. But if you're in a high pressure job and you're feeling anxious and you delete that signal, that's not a mental health problem. That's your mental health operating correctly. Just like if you lost a loved one and you felt really sad. Gosh, that's a mentally healthy response. But instead, we're diagnosing the mental health as illness, and we're giving it, and we're over-treating it in ways that are really going to make you worse off.